After unrest in Austin, officers are reviewing this chaotic scene where a demonstrator was hit with a beanbag. 20-year-old Justin Howell is now in critical condition after falling to the ground and hitting his head. The police chief nearly brought to tears.
What I say to you now is my heart is with you.
Not far from where demonstrators took over the streets of Chicago, police are now looking into the actions of these officers. A family pulled out of a car say they were roughed up by police because they may have been in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I want to be very clear.
But during overnight unrest in Brooklyn, it was police who were assaulted.
Faced a judge for the first time. In charging documents, the state says ex-officer J. Alexander King held Floyd's back while former officer Thomas Lane held his legs, as seen here in this video. King's attorney said today his client had only 3 shifts under his belt as a full-fledged cop, and that he told the other officers, "You shouldn't do this." The attorney for Lane said he was also a rookie cop who asked Derek Chauvin, "Shall we roll him over?"
You got to have criminal intent for second-degree murder, and frankly, this is bull.
According to the court documents, former officer Tu Tao blocked a bystander who tried to help Floyd. His attorney says he's cooperating. Chauvin, who has not commented and is now charged with second-degree murder, kept pinning Floyd, the state says, even after Floyd's condition continued to deteriorate, such that force was no longer necessary to control him. New autopsy results show Floyd had tested positive for the coronavirus, but that did not play a factor in his death. The new charges came...
Wait! Housewives would run home to see a black woman on TV named Oprah Winfrey, and you mess with her. Because you just can't take your knee off our neck. Man comes out of a single-parent home, educates himself, and rises up and becomes the President of the United States. And you ask him for his birth certificate. Because you can't take your knee off our neck. The reason why we're marching all over the world is we were like George. We couldn't breathe, not because there was something wrong with our lungs, but you wouldn't take your knee off our neck. We don't want no favors. Just get up off of us, and we can be and do whatever we can be. Some have looted and done other things. And none of us in this family condones looting or violence. But the thing I want us to be real cognizant of is there's a difference between those calling for peace and those calling for quiet. Some of y'all don't want peace. You just want quiet. You just want us to shut up and suffer in silence. The overwhelming majority of the people marching wasn't breaking windows. They were trying to break barriers. They wasn't trying to steal nothing. They were trying to get back the justice you stole from us. Those that broke the law should pay for whatever law they broke. But so should the 4 policemen that caused this funeral today. We don't have a problem denouncing violence, Mr. Governor. We don't have a problem, Mr. Mayor, denouncing looting. But it seems like some in the criminal justice system have a problem looking at a tape and knowing there's probable cause, and it takes a long time for you to go and do what you see that you need to do. Back to my text, Ecclesiastes. There is a time and a season. And when I looked this time and saw marches where in some cases young whites outnumbered the blacks marching, I know that it's a different time and a different season. When I looked and saw people in Germany marching for George Floyd It's a different time and a different season. When they went in front of the Parliament in London, England, and said it's a different time and a different season, I come to tell you, America, this is the time of dealing with accountability in the criminal justice system. Even years ago, I went to march. Now I remember a young white lady looked me right in the face and said, "Nigga, go home." But when I was here last Thursday, and Miss Carr and I was headed back to the airport, I stopped near the police station. And as I was talking to a reporter, a young white girl, she didn't look no older than 11 years old. She tagged my suit jacket. And I looked around and I braced myself. And she looked at me and said, "No justice, no peace." It's a different time. It's a different season. Y'all are operating like it's yesterday. And the reason y'all late catching up to what these protests means is because you didn't turn your clock forward. Talking about make America great. Great for who and great when? We gonna make America great for everybody for the first time. Never was great for blacks. Never was great for Latinos. Wasn't never great for others. Wasn't great for women. Your women had to march to get the right to vote. But lastly is the religious side. I was reading and kept thinking about how I was a little embarrassed. Because when I heard that George, at this point of suffering this brutal attack, called for his mama, I said to Attorney Crump, I said, well, I appreciate talking to his brothers and them on the phone, but I want to talk to his mother. He said his mother passed. I said his mother passed, but he was calling for his mother. And I thought about it because I was raised by a single mother. And sometimes the only thing between us and our conditions was our mothers. Sometimes the only thing that we had that would take danger away was our mothers. Because at the point that he was dying, his mother was stretching her hands out, saying, "Come on, George. I'll welcome you where the wicked will cease from troubling, where the weary will be at rest. There's a place where police don't put knees on you, George. There's a place that prosecutors don't drag their feet." Maybe mama said, "Come on, George. There's a God that still sits high, but he looks down low and he'll make a way out of no way." This God is still on the throne. The reason we can fight, I don't care who's in the White House, there is another house that said if we'll fight, he'll fight our battles. If we stand up, he'll hold us up. So as we leave here today, I say to this family, I know that years ago we told them, Reverend Jackson told us, keep hope alive. Then I know that President Obama wrote a book about hope. But I want you to know in my life, there's times that I lost hope.